Hello and welcome to the Bitrix24 Internal Communications webinar. My name is Vlad Kowalski and I think you might recognize me from a couple of my previous videos and from the Bitrix24 London release. So today, as always, we have a quick webinar for you where we will cover internal communications on your mobile platform and of course on your browser in the cloud version. So let's get right into it. Of course, as you heard in our Bitrix24 London release, you now understand our mobile app works just as well as your Bitrix24 does on your cloud, on the browser. So let's see how internal communications works on your mobile platform. As you see, we're still working with the same CRM that we used in our last videos. We have news, chats, tasks all at the bottom, so it makes it easy to communicate. Top of that, we also see that we do have our activity stream or timeline with all the important news going on inside of our company, just as you see it on your browser. You see the same version of it right on your mobile device. And what's also cool about it, you get to interact with it like you do with your browser. So you have the options of adding files, adding employees, and dictating who can actually see the post and interact with it. And it doesn't stop there. As soon as you created the post, you can actually leave comments with emojis and files added onto the comment as well, so everybody can stay on top of things. Moving along, our mobile app is not just limited to your timeline. You can actually fully communicate with team members one-on-one with the chats. And the great thing about our chat feature now is you can make different types of chats. You can talk one-on-one exclusively in a chat, different ways, maybe via video, maybe just audio, and you do have that options. And Bitrix24 doesn't limit how long you can actually video chat for. On top of that chat, you also have the option of adding files and emojis to help interact within the chat itself. Now, the different chats you can add actually are the same ones you can do in your browser. So you can create a whole big chat ready for video conferencing. And again, Bitrix24 does not limit the number of people and time that you can communicate via chat. And the video chat has no limitations on the period of which you can communicate. So that's our mobile app in a nutshell. So let's move on to Bitrix24 internal communications in your web browser. Let's go. This is the same portal that we made last time, and as we see, a little bit different layout this time. That is because right now it is configured for communications. So, of course, we can always change that. And we're going to do that right now. When you go down bottom to the configure menu settings, you can click on that, and then you can actually change the primary tool of your Bitrix24 ecosystem. So if we look, before it was on our CRM, that's where we saw our customer relationship management and our leads. Of course, now we want to change over to internal communications and communicate within our Bitrix24 portal. So again, we click the configure menu option and go to change primary tool. There we can actually choose from tasks and projects, communications, and sites. Of course, for today's webinar, we will be using the communications. Go ahead and confirm that. Once that's loaded up, of course, we see on the left-hand side with our menu, which we can expand, that we have a couple of different options here, starting with our activity stream or our news feed, tasks and projects, chats, calls, and workrooms. So this is going to make it a little bit easier for us to communicate within the Bitrix24 ecosystem with our workers and our team members. Now, let's take out some of the features that we have inside of our activity stream ready to use. Of course, we have a very simple timeline here. This is just going to give you some important things going on in your company, just like any other social media platform timeline would. But here you have a great set of tools in which you can communicate with your team. After you've invited a couple of team members or workers, you can see that they will start appearing on the right-hand side. This will actually give you a quick way to chat them. But in the activity stream right now, when we do want to send out a message to our colleagues, we can click that. And now we see a bigger window that gives us a little bit more options of how to communicate with team members, starting with the option to add file. So when we want to upload a file, you have a couple of different ways of doing so, which is great. So you'll be ready for any document type, and you can always upload it for all your colleagues to see. And you can also choose who gets to see the post. Now you can choose all your employees. You can choose just general work groups. You can even choose by department. Here you have a great texting editing tool where you can change the different fonts, make quick lists, make it more visually appealing. And to have visual appearance, is huge for a lot of people who visually work. So here you can fully customize your post with a simple message that will appear right on your timeline to your selected departments or employees. Now, if we move on, we have the quick option of creating a task straight from that activity stream, or timeline. So again, when we go back to our activity stream and we're looking at the news, right? You could scroll up right away. Maybe you remember that, you need to mark a quick task for one of your workers. You click the task button, go over here right away. What does that thing need to do? Maybe create a website. Again, you mark the responsible person, the deadlines, go more, then you have a little bit more options of what you want to do with the task. So, even set the high priority, which is great. It will appear right away on top of the task list of that employee. Here, it's just very important to notice that we make the task process simple, easy, and effective. Because as a lot of our clients tell us, if they don't put the task into their Bitrix24 ecosystem, it probably will not get done. So we made it even easier for you to create all your tasks so your company stays on track. Now, moving along, inside of the activity stream, we see we can also right away plan a quick event. Now this is very helpful. I know with me, every time I'm on a call, especially within my Bitrix24 system with some of my colleagues, and right away we start talking about dates and things we need to get done. It's quick to write down, okay, that's fine, but then you kind of forget to put it into the system. So here, right from the activity stream, you can actually close down that chat menu, go over, create a quick event. Here, type in whatever it is, put down the date, and you're good to go. Then you can actually go back and edit it. So again, you don't forget anything, everything stays inside the system, and you have it, and you can access it. Next feature which has become very popular among Bitrix24 users, of course, is the poll option, which is great. Again, you have full customization of who sees the post and who you want to see the post. Simple, quick layout, question, answer, 1, 2, everything gets calculated, so then you know who voted and who didn't. So this is actually a very popular and very, very great tool to use. On top of that, when you do record your messaging, a very great new tool that we talked about in our Bitrix24 London release is the option to actually make a video recording, and you can actually set it and make it an announcement. So when you actually click here, you can add different videos, but of course you can also record a video. Now, let's say you want to communicate with the whole company, make a great big announcement, right? Say that we have just upgraded our Bitrix24 and we have chosen to upgrade to the professional version. And you want to announce that to the whole company because it's a big, big deal. Right away, you can click the record video and you have access, of course, after allowance, to your camera. Simply record the video and then you can post it right onto the timeline. And within the post, of course, you can visually edit with the text editing tools, maybe add a photo and whatnot. And this way, when you type out a message, you can't always put the emotion behind your words. So that's why, the video conference, I know every time we get a big video message on our timeline, it's always exciting. And maybe some great news about the company, and you always see the emotion behind the deliverance. And I think that's huge. Especially when you're trying to communicate something to all your workers and all your team members. Again, this right now, this is just the activity stream and all the great things that come with it. Now we are going to move on to something a little bit more in depth, and that's going to be our chats and our calls. Because Bitrix24, as we understand, is not just a platform for CRM. This platform is just a simple way for you to communicate within one ecosystem with all your team members. And you know that's very vital for any business, no matter the scale. So when we do click on the chat and calls, they always appear right here on the right-hand side as well. In our previous video, we did learn how to invite some of our colleagues. So here I did make a couple of examples. So let's check that out. When we do click on chat and calls, we get taken to a window here. And that, of course, will have all of our notifications. And that's basically what is going on in our Bitrix24 system. And of course, we have our colleagues that we can talk to. Now, what's great about this is we can actually, inside of each chat, we can fully do the same things that we did on our activity stream, but in a more private manner. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, of course, you can always communicate and chat back and forth like you would. But you also have the option of then adding a file on your computer from a drive. You also have the option, getting emotional with emojis, which is big. Fully edit the whole text through the text editing tool as well. And what's very big and very popular right now among Bitrix24 users, of course, while everybody is remotely working and at remote locations, is to use video chatting. Now this inside the Bitrix24 chats is very simple. As you see, you have the HD video call option on the upper right-hand corner. Here is just a one-on-one look on how you can video chat with one person. But the limitations do not stop there. And remember, Bitrix24 does not limit how long your video call can be. So you can actually invite all your colleagues into the Bitrix24 ecosystem, communicate in a private manner through video calls. Now, what's great about this, you can actually go on and create a group up here on the upper right-hand corner. You have the option of creating a personal chat, as we see here, private chat, just one-on-one that you can invite people, or a public chat that anyone can have access to. So let's go ahead and just make a public chat. Enter the chat title. This is going to be for our, let's do birthday chat. Birthday chat's created. You can then invite the different colleagues. Now, once they actually become a part of the chat, that's when you can go ahead and do an HD video call or conference. So, again, we don't have a limitation on how long the conference can go. So you can talk and chat and communicate and collaborate under video for no limit on time. And right now, since Bitrix24 is free to unlimited users, you can invite your whole team, no matter how big or small, and try out Bitrix24 100% free of charge. Again, we see the HD video call option here, and you have all your colleagues. So, I know as in our company, we start, maybe a morning planner, maybe we have a lunch planning time where we kind of get together and we break down what we're doing for the day, for the week, and so on. It's very useful, very helpful, and now it's very simple and it's very easy. And the best thing is, this stuff is 100% free in Bitrix24. Now, I would like to move on and show you guys another great tool inside of the Bitrix24 ecosystem. And that's just going to be how our notifications work. Again, I quickly covered that beforehand, but the notifications is kind of redesigned here. So anytime you're in the Bitrix24 system and you want to know what is going on, you always go to the notifications. And luckily, they're one-on-one with your chats. Go here, load up the notifications, and you actually see what is going on in your company and when it happened in real time. So here, of course, it's a fairly new system. I see that I did enable the professional demo for 30 days. Okay, now how did we do that? Well, when you actually go through your Bitrix24 ecosystem, when you go to your upgrade plan option, when you first create the system, you actually will have the option of using our Bitrix24 professional system 100% free for 30 days. Now this is a great option because you can actually go in and see which features fit your company the best, and then you can go ahead and actually choose which plan suits your company the best. So it's always important to, as soon as you create this Bitrix24 ecosystem, to go back in, activate your trial, and then you can start using all the tools and see which tools you actually need for your company. And remember, everybody, that Bitrix24, we do not charge per user. So you can actually go ahead to your pricing menus and see that maybe your company is this size, then you can get this package, or fully customizable. Again, this has been the intro for our internal communications, and I hope everybody understands how to communicate within Bitrix24. And you must understand that Bitrix24 is not just for high complicated IT companies. Not at all. If you have any idea, you want to collaborate with a group of people, Bitrix24 is the place and system to do it on.